The beats, the flow, the rhythm, all movement starts from the streets. Streets A&R Podcast.
It's crazy. I got to do my phone fade. I ain't got no fade.
He faded it smooth though.
Man, Nick, you got to DJ whenever you DJ. You just got to figure some stuff out. Like, let me just. Man, just craziness. Man.
Smooth fade though. No cap.
Hey, man, listen, man. I got a little bit. Look, I got a little bit. You see the turntables in there. My mixer in there still. I just keep it packed up. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to haul this shit tomorrow. Set up. I'll be doing the OG setup. No, I don't do the controller, bro. I'm going to get one eventually. But I started on a controller. And when I learned to DJ from DJ Mr. Soul, he back in town now, OG here. I started on a controller. And he put me through actual class.
Bro,
so actually,
I love turntables.
Yeah.
It's a different feel. When you can actually feel that jog wheel spinning and you put the weight on it,
Mhm.
totally different.
it's bro, ain't nothing like it when it's moving, bro. Like people don't understand. Oh, I can do. Are you sure? When now that thing's sliding and you got to have the right, slip mat. Like you can't just use the factory slip mat. You got to. I got some butter rugs. Yeah. It's
That feedback is like just the resistance of it. So say you on a controller like you talk about, it's so like it's instant.
Yeah.
It feels digital.
Yeah.
But when you get on that true, like you put them blank Serato, turntables up there, and you put your blank
That analog feel.
man.
Yeah, it's go crazy. Like I'm gonna start doing mix sets because a lot of vinyl from old school ain't pressed. It ain't digital because it ain't get cleared. So a lot of stuff that's probably in the stack ain't even. You can't find it. Like I have an album, and I can't remember his name. I'm gonna find it before we get up out of here. Does not exist online, and it's the hardest shit. I might have to send this to the culture so you can listen to. It's the hardest shit ever, nigga.
We sampling it. Let's go.
Japanese pop music that's pressed on vinyl. That's like one of ones that I've been going through lately, and like just making different beats. Like, I got a flip to that I made to Biggie and Method Man's The What, and I used one of them old Japanese. Like I was listening, like I need to remake this real quick. And got on the keys, figured it out, and I was like, okay. And this the 4-bar loop that they put in there. But it's one of them, and it's a bunch of like, it's Japanese, so I don't know what they say.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, they was popping it out back then. That shit was crazy.
Out the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
This ain't talked about at all.
Nah, you gonna make it happen. Shit, man. Ooh wee,
Man.
ooh wee. Hey, this time we got a guest and not from here, and we actually got the shit recording. We gonna do it correctly.
Yeah. Get it going.
I told him the story earlier.
Okay.
So we are good to go. Are we not? Young guy, Montreal, we good to go? Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we growing pains. That's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm glad to be here.
Man, same.
You feeling good, Johnny?
Bruh, it's been a long day.
It's looked like it's been a long day in your eyes.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Man, we here at Streets A&R Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Man,
Man.
the days are upon us
Man.
of the shit we've been talking about.
Man, what you talking about,
That's-
man?
man, good old Sneaker Soiree, you know what I'm saying?
Man, the soiree?
The soiree, you know what I'm saying?
Friday,
Friday,
the 27th?
the 27th. It's
Oh,
upon
man.
us. So, we coming out, stepping out. And I told y'all, I'm big on music. I'm big on finding new music. I'm big on artists and artistry as a whole. And I was lucky to reach out and connect with this brother that's here with us today. This somebody, he asked me in the car when he got here, he's like, "Man, how the hell did you find me, bro?" And I told him, like, I was following one artist named Tim Gent that's from, he's in Nashville now, but he was from Clarksville. I found him a long time ago on Hot New Hip Hop. And I've been following him, and I follow Tut, YG Tut. And I just started seeing them on Twitter retweet this album. Like, yo, this shit finna be hard. And I looked at the title. It said "No More Bad Days" with "more" spelled with MOOR, and it's claymation on the cover. So I'm like, okay, this got to be. Let me at least listen to this shit because something is up. It sound like I got something to say. And just started off with track 1. I was like, yep, we in here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I found one. And this is somebody we discussed early on our episode 1 of the podcast when we was talking about artists to look out for. And I named 3 artists. I named my guy Grip, who just signed with Shady. I named Mir Fontaine out of Jersey. And I named our esteemed guest that's with us here today from Nashville, Mr. Chuck iNDigo.
Man.
Oh shit, I got to apply for this motherfucker. That shit was lit.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
y'all having me, man. That's amazing how you ran that down, man. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, man. We try to be professional at this. We've seen many things go well in the ride on the internet. So we just do what we do. Now we just I'm a storyteller by nature. I got stories about every fucking thing, and it's still a story. So that's how we got here, because of a story. I got to DJing because of a story. I got to listen to type styles of music of a story. So I got to give a story before we intro. That shit. All right, well, we got a guest. Chuck iNDigo. Shit is weak. That shit weak, bro.
Man.
Appreciate it, man. Real talk.
Yes, sir,
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing out there, man?
So before we get started in the convo, bro, just introduce yourself about who you are, what you do, how you got to this point. The fuck you doing here?
Yeah, man. Shit, like you said, man. Chuck iNDigo. Born and raised Nashville, Tennessee, out east to be exact. Yeah, man. Shit, I'm 28. Been doing this music thing in a serious way here I'd say about 5 years now. And shit just been growing slowly but surely, man. You know what I'm saying? Before that, I was just playing ball in college and shit like that. Went to school on a basketball scholarship. Played at a school in Alabama, and played all 4 years there. And, you know what I'm saying? Had a good little career and everything like that. Then got to this crossroads after I graduated where it was like, am I gonna go overseas or try to play, or am I gonna go, you know what I'm saying, work? And neither one of them didn't really feel right to me, because like I had opportunities to go play overseas, but they was like, you know what I'm saying, they wasn't paying no money. So I was just like, traveling is cool, but I'm not trying to be over here where I don't know nobody or no shit like that, and I'm not making that much money. So I didn't want to do that, and I didn't really want to work like no desk job for real. But I was already doing the music, so I was just like, man, I'm gonna just go in with it. And I don't know, man, ever since I just like made the conscious decision to take it serious and shit, man, like doors been opening. So like yeah, I mean, got calls from you. I've done shows in LA, North Carolina, Atlanta, just all over, you know, different little pockets of the country and shit like that. Texas, Dallas. So just got called out to do different stuff like that, and it's just showing me, you know what I'm saying, like I'm doing something right. So that's how we here, man.
For sure. And I know I got introduced to you as a MC, but you also making beats now.
Yeah. So I'm actually signed as a producer to Power Entertainment, which is like it's basically the label side of my management company too. So I'm signed with Powerhouse Management Company, and then as an artist, and then as a producer, I'm signed like to the label Power Entertainment. So some names that's like associated with Powerhouse would be like Turn Me Up YC, Red, Hit Kid. They just got the Fuck Nigga Free song, and so yeah, we're all signed to the same company. So
Man, that's what's up. So when you and we would like to educate on here on this Streets A&R. We A&R for the streets. When you say you sign as a producer, what does that entail? So how's the business side of that? So you just make beats and they shop them?
Yeah. Essentially, that's kind of the vibes. I make beats. They help me get placements and shop them, and then you know what I'm saying, we bust down like the publishing side of it. So you know what I'm saying, they get a little piece of the pub, but nothing crazy. Like it's my deal. If most people see, like if an industry exec would see it, they'd be like probably concerned for for the label owner, like what are you doing? So it's a really good opportunity for me, and being that, you know, Kadeem, my manager, had just stepped into like this new place of access and just being, you know, after the year that they had with YC and them, with Moneybags last album, and then now with Dirk's album, being at the top of the Billboard and stuff like that, and then now with Hit Kid and Glorilla and stuff. It's been a crazy few months and like maybe like last 2 years or so. So when he saw that, you know, that I was already making my beats and stuff like that, but I really just wasn't doing it for other people like that. He was just like, man, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you step into this producer bag, son, man? And it just put me in a good situation to just keep me working.
For sure, man. That's what's up. Shit. I need to make some beats. Them two back there, they said they got some shit.
Nah, they Miguel played me a little something, man. I was listening. I'm ready to hear Ant play me something.
Yes, sir. But what's it like? I'll just say when you are fielding calls and trying to figure out who's about the business, who wants to work. What's something are you looking at to say, you know what, let me field this call. Let me see what they talking about. Let me try to get out here. Because we got your ass in Nebraska.
Bro, no cap. So I'm glad you asked that. That's a great question. So like, no bullshit. When you hit me up, I thought it was like spam. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, first of all, this nigga name, his first and last name is too close together. This don't look, it look like he just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, both 5 letters.
Right. I'm just like, this look too close. So then I'm looking at that. But then, you know what I mean? I saw like how the email was worded and stuff like that. So I was like, this ain't a bot. So I'm like, let me look into it. And so that's when I think I replied back and just asked some questions. Because usually like that's kind of my follow-up with the person based on what they say after that first question is like, lets me know whether or not this is an opportunity I need to like, you know what I'm saying, invest my time in or whatever. So when I hit you back and then you kind of told me what was going on and then I passed you to Kadeem and then Kadeem like was telling me everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's legit. Like for me, it was just more so, I think what I look for is just like, honestly, like not trying too hard for one to like convince me, you know what I'm saying, that what you're doing is like worth the time, but like just showing me with like the preparedness. So like you had all the answers when I asked questions. It wasn't like, no, well, we working on this, and it was like, no, this is what we paying, this is what we do, this is what we did, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can fuck with that. And then just also too, I always look at like venue and like what's the word I'm looking for? Not the schematics, but like the, you know, the logistics of everything. So like when I asked about where the venue was, I instantly looked up the venue and then I sent it to him and I was like, hey, this might be all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen that, like, you know what I mean? When you told me like the lineup you had last year and things like that, I said, okay, I was able to plug and, you know what I'm saying, see how I fit into it. Cause like I'm in this place now where it's like I'm learning to like, that it's okay to say no to some things. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to just be like, nah, that ain't for you. Like whether or not, if like you just ain't got the bandwidth for it, or if it just like, it don't align with what you trying to do. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to say no. So that really be what I be filtering for, is just to see if it align and if the person that's reaching out is like, you know what I'm saying? If they serious about that shit, you know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate it, man. Hey, for y'all, stop sending, hey, man, we trying to do a show. Y'all trying to come through. That will not get you in there. That, like,
Don't work like
nah, at all, bro. And I think that's one thing, too, that I appreciated was, like, the professionalism, too. I think sometimes in hip-hop, they get lost because, you know what I'm saying, what we do, I mean, it's cool. Like, as a profession, it's like, you can't find another job that allows you to do this. Like we smoking weed, we drinking, we in the studio, we having great time most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think people allow that to like dilute the fact that it's still business and that it still needs to be conducted professionally. So like, yeah, that's another thing that like if somebody reach out to me on some, hey, bruh, can we? No, like I'm not on Twitter. Like what? I mean, what is this? Like, is this how you would reach out to like, you know what I'm saying, a investor or something like that? So it's like, why would you reach out to an artist or somebody that you're trying to do business with like that? You know what I'm saying? So
for sure, man. I always look for contact information if they got one, and then if they don't, whatever you word in the email, you put it in the message.
Yep.
Like don't change how it comes out.
Yep.
And put the correct how to get in contact. Like it's just simple stuff. And I think I got that from. I ain't gonna lie. I've been working a job. That's the good thing about a job is they teach you how to do sponsors, all that shit. When you work in events and so you know how to word things and get to the point of what it is. So Yeah, man. Shit, get y'all some experience, man. Come learn, man. We'll consult for you.
Nah, facts.
What's the break? No, don't tell them the rate.
Man,
But
we
yeah,
ain't gonna tell them just yet.
yeah, man. You got something for them?
Oh man, I got a lot of things, man. I'm just sitting back enjoying the conversation, man. Actually, as I was pulling up, I just was listening to the first track on what's it called?
No More Bad Days.
No More Bad Days, and it was the quote that stood out to me on the beginning of there. That was pretty phenomenal. But I think one of the songs from you that stood out to me the most is Introverted.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's kind of like my vibe. I'm more like an ambivert. I'm an extroverted introvert, but I don't always got a lot to say. Some people feel like I do, but I don't always got a lot to say. So I really, really vibe with that track, man. Could you tell me more about like that track and how that expresses who you is as a creative?
Hell yeah, man. That one. So I made that song maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
That was on iNDigo Cafe. It was my first project. Like, not my first project, but that's like my first, I would consider like my first legitimate project. Like, for anybody who would be new to me or never listen to my music, like I would definitely send them there first and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? But Introverted was basically just a thing of honestly dealing with like the nuance of like what it means to just like to not want to talk, like, and what it means to like be feeling the way, like some days, bro, like you just don't feel it. Like it ain't got nothing to do with like ain't nobody did nothing to you, you're not upset. You just like don't feel like talking. Like words don't feel like the best option. You know what I'm saying? And ironically enough, like my boy Mauves was he was my roommate at the time. And he kind of inspired the song, ironically, because he would just have days where he would come in, bro, and he'd just be like, and then he'd go upstairs, and I might text him, like, bro, you straight, bro? And I'm like, no, I'm good. What you think that, bro? And it's like, you ain't talked in like 4 days, bro. It's just like, I ain't been feeling like talking. And it's just like, I can feel that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I genuinely didn't feel like it was no animosity when he was saying it. So it's like, when I thought about that, and I thought about how like people would like, you know, hassle you and shit, and be like, what's wrong with you? Why you not talking? It's just like, bro, I don't got shit to say. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay, like it's okay to like not have anything to say. Like it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and some days it'd be like it where you just want that silence. And I just thought being able to express that in song like would be I don't know, a cool thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely is, man. It gives me something that where I feel like, you know, we always self-absorbed by nature anyway. So I feel like, oh man, that's me right there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really be feeling like saying much. And that's like the beautiful thing of communication, where I got a partner who understands me. I don't always feel like talking all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing personal. I'm just tired, man. So
and that was another too. That was like me just trying to like give introverted people a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I think that's like the biggest thing is like being misunderstood, and people like quick to like label you as something or tell you, know what I'm saying, you bougie or you stuck up or you have said he always got an attitude, he woo, and it's just like, man, I just ain't got, y'all ain't talking about shit, and I don't feel like adding no extra bullshit to the mix, so I'm just not talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yes,
as
sir.
far as how old, I know you said that you started taking music serious about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How old was you when you first got into music, and what was your introduction?
I was 3. And I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody out there can guess, but church, man. Everybody starting at church, I think. And I really feel like it's something to that. I would love to do like some type of like deep dive, like research into that, just like that pipeline in terms of how, you know, the black church seems to churn out all of these like hip hop and R&B and secular acts. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best musicians come out of the church. But that's where I got my start. I was about 3, singing in the choir. The first like vivid memory I have of like actually like having like enjoying being in front of people with a microphone, I sung Feliz Navidad at my preschool graduation. At my preschool graduation, my mama said, yes, I had to come out there, bro, huh?
Which version though?
The Feliz Navidad, rose petals, I was supposed to leave it. I wanna wish you a merry. I was literally, my mama got that tape to this day.
Hey.
And that's like one of the most vivid memories I have of like my first time being in front of people with a microphone, like singing and shit. And I think that's when I started like, after that, that's when I started like doing it more in terms of at church, was starting to lead songs and devotion and stuff like that. And then going into high school, I was in choir all 4 years. And then I started playing the drums when I was like 11 at church. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that was just self-taught. So it was just like I had always been musically inclined, but basketball was like not my Achilles heel, but it was just the thing that like kept me away from like really diving into music fully, because it was like I just knew I was going pro. So that's what I was on. Yeah.
Go ahead, E. I know you got that athletic connection.
I was a footballer for the most part. I can hoop. And that's the other thing. People here don't know I got a little game because I don't be nowhere. And like, I'm fat now. So they like, oh. Then I get to move and they're like, what the fuck?
Like, that was a quick ass jab you just gave.
But yeah, man, that it's crazy how athletics opens some doors, but it consumes your mind and time so much you don't get to explore what your talents are.
No, facts.
Like I didn't get into music as a thing until I got here. And even though I would be there, like being from Texas, like I went to school, I ended up going to college in Ohio at Ohio University. And I would just remember like bringing music, but from back home, like I think I single-handedly broke Big Tuck's Not a Stain on Me in Ohio. And I bullshit you not, because I had it so early on the mixtape circuit, nobody knew what it was. So I would pull up to every party to where my DJ homeboys was like, bro, what is that? So I actually gave them the CD so they can get it. And in about a year and a half later, that's when I started hearing it on the radio in Ohio. It was after I gave them, I think I just on me, man. Y'all, Big Tuck, man.
A&R. The Streets A&R.
A&R back then, but yeah, man, like it keeps you from that, even though you have it in you. You know, I grew up in the church. Everything, I was the backup drummer to the backup drummer. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up singing, drumming, all that kind of stuff. And dad was Nigerian, so I would grow up with Nigerian music playing, like, you know, all the time. And then he was into other stuff, so he would bring all the mixtapes back from the barbershops, the homies, and it's like, so I always had access to music and never knew like it was gonna end up being something I fell into until later, bro. As an adult, a working adult, got my first laptop.
Yeah,
I went to 2-3 colleges and now I get my first laptop, which is insane in itself.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, it was. It was from West Side, cuz. It's Nigeria over here, cuz.
Nigeria's on the east side.
This.
hey, help him out, man. Help him out.
God.
We gonna delete that one out.
Nigeria, Ghana.
I went to Ghana in college.
That's we right under Ghana.
Right under Ghana, my brother.
Niger to the right. Yeah.
Say,
Oh, he done
East
set up- he
African,
done-
yeah, boy.
Apologize to our South Sudanese population.
Ghanaian jollof rices.
Who's?
Ghanaian jollof rices.
Don't start that. You go get kicked the fuck out talking that shit.
Yeah, he was beefing on me because I was talking about Togo food is fire, and he started
Man,
talking
that I can't. We finna lose followers because I ain't gonna lie. I don't like they fufu.
Nigerian chicken is so much better than Ghanaian chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Like for stew, y'all do.
Yeah, I stew beef.
Y'all get busy on the stew.
Whether it's the okra soup, it's the whatever, man. Goose. Listen, we get to the fufu, the goosey soup. We get busy, man. Get you some goat meat or some pepper soup.
But my jollof preference.
Get out of here, bruh. I told you not to say it.
He said, you said it again.
That's two.
Twice.
I just got from the boxing gym, bruh. And I didn't spar, so I'm fresh. I was gonna ask. So actually, me and Johnny, we actually just had our first poetry event that we kind of collaborated on to have, and one of the standout tracks for me on No More Bad Days was actually your spoken word piece of Can't. Can always never try.
Yeah.
What kind of inspired the creation of that, and what made you want to go to put something like spoken word on a hip hop album?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, spoken word is like where the raps started. You know what I'm saying? So there's obviously like a singing element, like a melodic element to my music, and that started in the church. But the rapping or the lyrics came from spoken word. I started doing that like my junior year in high school, and it's another artist from Nashville. His name the Black Sun. He's younger than me, but at the time, I think he was a freshman in high school. I was a junior, and he had this spoken word piece. It was like Uncle Tom or something like that. That's what it was called. And bro, I had never heard anybody my age or younger or anywhere like just speak that eloquently. Like had to the point like grown people was just like stank facing and shit what he was saying. And so like when I seen it, I was like, man, I really want to do that. And so he really got me into doing the spoken word thing. And then later on I had some homies like that was on some shit that they heard me do spoken word and they was like, bro, you ain't never thought about rapping? And so then I started rapping. And so with Can't Chronicles, I was going through a weird time in life because No More Bad Days initially was just NOMORE, Bad Days. It was gonna be like a love album and shit. And I had like a really bad bout of like writer's block and shit during that time. But concepts always come first to me. So like the name and shit like was in my head. So I was like, okay. And then George Floyd died. That was ironically, so that was around the same time my daughter was born. My daughter was born June 4th, 2020, I believe. What's her name died like in May?
May 25th.
Yeah. So my daughter was born a few days later, and so I was looking at her, and it was just one of them things of like to see somebody kind of like get their life take. Like that was a long 9 minutes, bro. That bro was just choked. You know what I'm saying? And that shit did something to me like way worse than a lot of the other ones did. Like even, you know, I think about like Tamir Rice, and I think about like Mike Brown and all them different things that happened, and like even Trayvon, like all of that affected me. But the George Floyd one affected me more is because it was like, bro, it like to see somebody just like get they like take that long to take a life. You know what I'm saying? Like it was plenty of time for different shit to happen, and it didn't. And I don't know, that's what inspired me to change it. It was just like, bro, I don't want to feel like this no more. You know what I'm saying? So thinking that, it was like when I thought of that, like instantly in my mind, just no more, like thinking of the Moors and think about just how black people, our relationship to the Moors and stuff like that. It just made me think of that. And so when I started writing it, bro, I woke up one morning, and the first thing I said was, plan A, I always been with the plan B. And then I said, oh, fuck. And I started talking to my wife, and I was just like, that's it. And I went we had like a little kitchen dining table at the time. And I sat there at what's the name? And I'm just sitting at my computer. I got on Splice, and I just started looking for a loop that just fit what I was hearing. And then the piano loop played. And I just literally took that loop, dragged it into Logic, and I just looped it out. And I just started writing. And it felt like, I ain't gonna lie, to this day, I really did feel like God just was writing through me. I can't tell you, I don't, bruh. I read, and you know what I mean? I know my history and stuff like that, but bruh, some of that stuff I was saying, bruh, I don't know where that came from. It was just me writing and me just saying what was, I felt like I was led to say. Like, I wish my wife was here, she could tell you better from another perspective, but like, it literally was one of them things, like I was writing, and I'm like saying it as I write. You know what I'm saying? And then she was just like, keep going. And I just kept going. Just kept going. And by the end of it, I'm like crying. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, cause I'm like, you know, it was kind of, that was the first time I had ever had an experience like that where I really felt like I was being like channeled, you know what I'm saying? Or channeling like another energy, you know what I'm saying? Really like, you know what I'm saying? It's having, you know, ancestors, having God speak through me or whatever. And that's all that was, man. It was just like, I feel like I had got to a point with the album, cause that was the last song I made for the project. And it was just like, I felt like I had to like encapsulate what I wanted people to like take from the project. And that's what I essentially, like, if you don't listen to no other song, you can just listen to that one. And that's what I want you to take from it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that, you know, like this shit hard, but like we built for it. So don't spend too much of your energy trying to like worried about how hard it is. Cause it's like, we're made like that. We built like that. We're gonna be okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put your energy towards higher shit, you know, higher causes, and like everything else kind of gonna work itself out.
Man, yes sir, man. Being a vessel, man. It's interesting when that shit come. It don't happen often.
Nah, real talk.
When it come, you
Real
know
talk.
it, and you just gotta flow with it.
Nah, facts.
Because when you don't, you stop your blessing that comes along with it.
It's a fact.
So yeah, man, I could feel it. Cause that was I was like,
Nah, that's a fact.
I feel like that's I always like, man, just listen to this. Doom. That was my go-to, man. That is my go-to, man. When you don't feel like you think you can, it's like, well, the alternatives you can always never try. Where's that? You already know what that's gonna get you, so you might as well have an attempt. So you might end up in the same spot, but at least you got the attempt.
Real shit.
But yeah, man. So yeah,
Yeah, man. It's divine, man. Thank you for this interview. I think that a lot of times we only get to experience artists through their art, and we don't get the chance to experience the person.
For sure.
And so it's like beautiful to see like your creative process, because it's very, reminiscent of other people who I know who create. How did you get the name Chuck Indigo, man? What's the story behind that?
Boy.
I figured out the ND. I was like, why is this ND capital? I'm like,
Okay. So and really, bro, all that shit is divine. Like, bro, like a lot of this feels for me, man, like I'm just being a vessel, bro. Like, yeah. So essentially, bro, like I was hooping in college. This is before I ever like thought about rapping for real. I was hooping in college my freshman year in college. I had a senior on the team. He was like my big homie. His name was Marquise Rudolph. And we walking out of the practice, and I bullshit you not, it went just like this. I walk out of practice, I'm walking like a little bit ahead of him. He's like, Chuck Indigo, what you about to get into? I just turned back. I'm like, huh? And I tell this story on What's the Name too. It's on 2D for the intro on What's the Name. But he said, Chuck Indigo, what you about to get into? I'm like, what? He said, yeah, that's your name, Chuck Indigo. I'm just like, what? Like literally just like that. So I'm like walking, I'm like, that's funny as hell. Later on, I decide to, I want to start rapping and shit, because like this when the homies hear me like do spoken word. They asked me to do a spoken word piece on one of their shits. And he's like, bro, you ain't never thought of rapping. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I hear myself for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Like, that don't even sound like me. That's me. Like, oh, okay. And so we finna put something out, and they're like, man, what's your rap name gonna be? And I'm like, well, I can't go by Nick Drake, because it's like, I know it's a folk singer named Nick Drake. You could go by, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, well, Chuck Indigo. So later on, as this goes on, bro, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm at a PWI at the time. Okay. It's a Nazarene school, and they got me. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, y'all. Like, I am not the person I am sitting here right now. Like, I was doing some shit that I'm ashamed of. I'm like real. I was real confused, and so
got that white nectar.
You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I mean? And so,
all right, Ruckus.
You know what I'm saying? All right, I was out there bullshitting, y'all. So I left there, and ironically, you know what I mean, they did me like white people to do you, and you feel me, that kind of was my wake up call to like, hey, you still a nigga type shit, you know what I'm saying? And so when I seen that, it really just changed my mindset on shit like that. And so I started really like diving into myself, like really soul searching and working on trying to build my spirit, and just like reading more and just learning about my history and shit like that, like really wanting to know myself, you know what I'm saying, like, and once that happened, I started learning about chakras and stuff like that, and then I learned about, you know what I'm saying, your third eye chakra, you know what I mean, which that's why we have third eye, my label or whatever. And I learned about that, and I learned that the color that represents the opening of your third eye is indigo. And a lot of what I would consider like what rap has done for me has been like that for me. It's been like my third eye opener. It's been like my like little key to like the, you know what I mean, the other side, so to speak. So it's like a lot of shit, like I said, I've always felt like a vessel, and a lot of things that I've learned, I've taught myself through like rapping. Like I've kind of governing myself. I'm writing and I say some shit. At the time, I don't really understand the significance of it. And then later on, I'm like, I said that? Like, oh shit, I was on something. And so it's been like that the whole time. Like I didn't find out that indigo represented what it represented until after like a long time. And then it all started making sense. So then when I first started, the ND wasn't even capitalized. It didn't become capitalized until I figured out what it meant. And then I was like, wow, it feels like this name was meant for me because my initials are Nick Drake. So it's like, you feel me? That's when I started capitalizing the ND. So yeah, like it really just came from some weird divine timing type shit where it was just like, God was like, you don't even know you're going to use this, but I'm going to let him give you this name type shit. So
I think that's kind of how all of our names we got a similar story.
It's always another nigga fucking with you.
Bruh, crazy.
Hey, Mauves, how you get your name?
Can you show me some moves?
So, ironically enough, my name is spelled MADMAUVES. Most people think it's Mad Mauves, but my name stemmed out of like how I see like sound. So I look at sound as like color.
Synesthesia.
I do like a lot of very like aesthetically based things. Like my pinky ring says moves, but it's Mauves, and like when people read it, like Mad Mauves, like no, it's Mad Moves, and it's like it's based out of just how I see color, and like I always thought, because the type of music I've made and the clips I make, I wanted to make you want to like feel something rhythmically. Like my times in Ghana, like I had to take a dance class out there. So like everything just felt rhythmic. And like, bro, we were sitting in the car one day and I had no name when I first started DJing. I was just
facts. You was just Carter.
Everybody was like, hey, what's that spinning? And nobody give a name. But like we're in the whip, I was like, man, I'm gonna go by Mad Mauves. I was like, but I'm gonna spell it this way because like how the closest color I associate to movement a lot of times is red. And like red is a very intense color, but I was like, I want to dial it back because I'll turn a 21 Savage song to a love making song, like flip. So it's like, yeah, I want you to move, but like not as intensified. So like Mauve was like a great middle ground for me, and I was like, but man, that's cool. Mad Moves. I'm gonna play with the phonetic of the word. I'm gonna do what all other English speakers do, and then I'm Southern, so like I can really fuck some shit up. Like, you know. You say one word, but I can turn it into 2-3 different words. So like I use that concept and like.
I feel like Mauve is your what's name too, bro. That's the aura I see for you.
That's your glow.
Yeah. It's like that little. It's like a little dim pink, like a peaches pink, like close to that color right there on West Side Scene, girl.
Yeah, that's how mine stemmed, but it was a very random occurrence. But I was just. When we were roommates, they'll tell you my room was very aesthetically.
Nah, yeah, it was similar to this in terms of all the different like memorabilia and different shit like that.
Behind my bed, on my wall, I put vinyl casings, and like it was Damn up there. You had Thriller up there, Prince, Kiss, not like the song Kiss by Prince, like Kiss the name, and like Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. So like. I used to always just have like aesthetic driven lights. I'd always have like the mood lights set in that mug. But
he put me on the smart lights too. I ain't start using the smart lights until he was my roommate. I was like, I like how you got it looking at him. That shit feel good. But like that's how it be for me too. Like it wasn't until we started being roommates and shit that I started like kind of starting to see colors like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like to where like even when we made the No More Bad Days cover, bro, I said I need something blue, bro. Like give me something blue. You know what I'm saying? And when he did it, I was like, that's the color I see. Like that is exactly the color I envisioned for the project. Like, I feel like it represents it. Even with like I was telling somebody the other day, like Kendrick's album, the last one, it sounds brown to me. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he did it. So like I ain't really started for some reason.
It reminds me of like Sugar Shack. I go through the tape. I'm like, I could see him putting a jazz band behind him and like doing a quartet and having instrumentation and then just having this random trumpet like in the middle of his interludes to even time to set it up. It just
funny. We just did damn near 2 episodes.
Two episodes on
one on Kendrick giving him his flowers before the album, and then one just what we got from the album on the last one. Yeah,
no, that's crazy.
But no, I feel you. I had watched just a couple weeks ago an interview with Tyler the Creator at the Converse. They had some conference, and he was talking about how he does his sets, and it has to match the feeling he's getting. So he goes off of feeling and starts to fill in the colors and the shading and the background first before he even starts to think about the music that goes with it. It's like I got to get the feel of what I'm trying to get across first, and colors and shades go into that heavy, off rip. So it's just interesting that people, it's our light, our we bring that to us with our colors, how we represent ourselves, and you can kind of see that on people, and it'd be funny. Like that's gonna have to be, hey, the next question you ask a chick, man. So what color do you think your aura is?
Nah, bro. But I've been studying like chakras and stuff like that, bro. Like, cause I just feel like the older I get, the more I see like the truth in a lot of this. You know what I'm saying? I think. Social media has a way of tainting people's minds about like, astronomy and shit like that. But I started getting into the chakras and stuff, and I found out that like, bro, like literally like there are the chakras, like depending on how tapped in and aligned your chakras are, is like you literally do emit a glow like that can be shown on like a what's it called, like a body scanner. Yeah, like if you go on the egg and literally it will show like on the outer what's the name of your body, it'll show like how well like your energy wields or yields, bro. And it's kind of crazy, bro. So
Listen, the last dragon wasn't no lie.
facts though. No, yeah.
You see my little tourmaline sitting here, you know.
Bro, I was sure gonna ask you about this too.
Tourmaline.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that Tiger Eye?
Yeah. Got some Tiger's Eye over here.
Yeah.
Bloodstone. Listen, man, we rocked up. We rocked
We
up.
rocked up over here on the streets.
Yeah,
We
man.
got the Tiger's Eye in the pocket too.
Yes, sir.
We got the what's this called? Rhodamite.
Rhodamite.
Hey, no cap though. Something that's beautiful to see. I feel like that I'm starting to see too. Is just like a lot of black men doing like the work. You know what I'm saying? Like the inner work and just like working on themselves and really taking the time to like. I hate using this fucking term because it sounds so fucking head ass, but heal theyself. You know what I'm saying? Like in a real way though, like because I be peeping at like, bro, like a lot of the black dudes I'm seeing now like are getting more into like, you know, meditation, getting more into doing crystal work, getting more into doing chakra work, like getting more into praying, you know what I'm saying, more into reading, and it's just like, man, that's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, man. It's interesting even when I think about my entry point to all this was when I was in graduate school. And just I went to a conference and met a lady. She was a psychologist, and I didn't know she was also a Reiki healer, right? But if she did some work at the conference, I had to invite her to our school. She come in with some stones, right? And she introducing us to, you know, how we move, literally can move energy based on how, you know, tapped in we are, and to kind of see what happened. And I ain't gonna give y'all exactly what happened on this camera. We'll talk about that later. But to move something to the point where there's no way she could move it, it was insane. And just getting into that and learning more about your chakras, learning more about your energies, to the point where I had to go reconcile. When we talk about healing, I literally told a story about like my pops, and I had to go reconcile. I flew home to reconcile some shit with my dad to get through whatever that could have been a blockage. You know what I'm saying? To get through something that I had been told even by him, like there was a curse on our family, you know what I'm saying, that my cousin overseas in Nigeria told him about. It's like, you got a son, right? Not even cousin, just somebody he ran into. You got a son? Like, yeah. He got Dada, which is dreadlocks. And he was like, well, he's holding somehow some things happening in our family and it's going to him. So he got to figure out a way to get that up off of him. So it's like getting through these things and constantly working on these and reconciling our differences and our issues on a real level, like just going eye to eye, man to man is one of the most powerful things you can do on this earth. To tell the truth, man to man, just
bro,
any man, you know.
No cap, bro. And like, I mean, even with me right now, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm in this space where I'm taking some time away from like social media and shit like that, bro. Like if you go on my Instagram, minus the last 2 posts I put up, like, bro, I deleted my whole Instagram for the most part, like everything off of there. And it's just like I got this feeling like where it's just like, bro, you're never missing out on anything or like losing out if you're getting yourself together. You know what I'm saying? If you're taking time to get yourself aligned with what it is like that you want and what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like shit wicked out here, bro. And I think people be so concerned about like, you know what I'm saying, the physical shit that's going on, you know, the recession coming and no possible war on brink and all that shit. And it's like, man, it's really more of a spiritual war going on than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like people don't, I feel like a lot of like the shit the turmoil and stuff that we see going on is just like it's really like a culmination of just all the collected energies, you know what I'm saying, of like people's traumas and all that shit just being like pushed out into the world. You know what I'm saying? Everybody dealing with their own as above so below type shit, as without so within type shit. So it's just kind of one of them things, like literally like where I really feel like that, bro. I really be feeling like that.
Again.
And like we sat next to some random lady, and like I realized, I don't think you peeped it. She started reading because we both were just sitting there reading. She literally pulled her phone out and like looked for a book, because like at first she was trying to talk, but like, let me crack these seams was what I was on.
And bruh, it's like, I even think about this. I was talking to my homie the other day, bruh, because he was like, he said some shit, man. I got a real issue, bruh, with any black person that say they don't like being around black people. That shit just weird to me. Like, that shit's super weird to me. And but this is my best friend, so you know what I'm saying, one of my best friends, and he had said me that, and I knew when he said it, he ain't mean it like that. He just don't like being around like ghetto shit, like ratchet shit with niggas shooting and doing all that, which I don't either. Know nobody that, but I still prefer to be around my people. You know what I'm saying? Period. And so he had, you know what I'm saying, he was telling me that, bro, and I'm sitting here like just kind of giving them this rundown, like, man, I feel where you coming from, but let's look at it from a different way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about like what's going on with black people and why, like, oh, when you go out, people shooting or fighting or what is. It's like, all right, nigga, if you go to this club, it's dark as hell inside the club. Okay, niggas is off spirits, drinking spirits and smoking and drinking, doing whatever they doing, right? And then on top of that, 9 times out of 10, the music that's playing is literally telling you to kill somebody or is talking about killing somebody. And niggas is in there turning up to it, right? And my whole thing is like, bro, your subconscious mind don't know the difference of what's being told, what is being told, for one. And then two, all them influences you under don't help none. And like I say, bro, like when you hear that music, bro, it's like what, like the Bible say, bro, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am also. That's an energy quote, bro. That's all about energy, bro. So it's like if you got all them dudes in there, they all under whatever stress they got going, they trying to escape that by drinking and smoking, and then they got this other voice coming through these loud ass speakers with these low ass subs and all this low vibrational ass energy, talking about murking a nigga and taking. You're literally, bro, like repeating that shit to your what's name all night. What do you think's gonna happen, bro? Like what you think gonna come from that? Yes, niggas gonna get to fighting because he been told to fight all night. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like seeing that and just understanding, like, bro, like our energy is so infectious. Like he was talking about, like, bro, sitting on that plane and just seeing like some black dudes making a white person pull a book out. You know what I'm saying? Because she was sitting there trying to talk, and then we was just like, next thing you know, she was just like. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a small example of just like, bro, how that energy carry over, bro. Like, niggas gotta realize, like, we light bearers, bro. And you know what I'm saying? That you gotta just, you feel me? You gotta realize how that energy, like, can influence the next. You know what I'm saying? So.
This is all you, Johnny.
Man. I mean,
it's both our bag, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a affirmation conversation that's going on. Literally in the last conversation we had, I talked about how we talk about small statements and don't understand the magnitude of them. And the statement I said was, we say stuff like "as above, so below," and don't truly understand the depths of it. You know, so it's like when I hear you saying certain conversations, I hear you talking about rhythm. I hear you talking about correspondence, vibration. It let me know what level you on as far as mentally. And it's not a conversation that a lot of people have. So I just appreciate you for bringing that forward. How do you bring that energy and not allow yourself to get sheltered in? How do you allow is it the fast you take from social media? How do you protect your mental space and still put this art out here for the world?
Man, shit. Just realizing, bro, like, I'm a human. And that, like, bro, when I was born, the internet didn't exist for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was born in 94, the internet did exist, but, like, it wasn't in the form that it is now. So it's like, bro, like, you know what I mean? People, I mean, like, it's protecting my energy. And it's also understanding that I don't have to consume, that I can confront the news and all stuff that's in front. I don't have to consume it though. I don't have to like engage with it. Like, you know what I'm saying, on that level. Like, I was telling somebody the other day, niggas was asking me like how I felt about the shooting in Buffalo. It's horrible, but I don't care to like know the details because it's like there's this like necrophilic type relationship we got with fucking like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like with any type of trauma, just like we just love death and just love. We kind of, it seems like we get turned on by this shit or something, bro. Like, well, why do you need, like, bro? I don't need to know any details about why, what. No, there's no reason for you to go inside of a grocery store and to shoot and kill 10 people. Literally, there's no reason. So for me to go dig and try to find like why and find all the details, like, bro, for what? I don't need to know that. And it's just like we put ourselves into just deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like that's what desensitized you, just sitting there reading that shit all day, bro. Like, you're not, because on one hand, you know, people say we desensitize because they putting it in our face, but it's like, nigga, that's because you're not supposed to see that every day. Like, that's not natural for you to just, like, I'm not supposed to know that somebody in Buffalo got killed, like 10 people in Buffalo. I'm not supposed to know that. I'm not supposed to be able to see that. And I shouldn't want to see that. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's like how much energy or how much like effort are we taking into like looking up some good shit? You know what I'm saying? Looking into something uplifting, like, you know what I mean? My boy Ant got a whole, you know what I mean? He got scholarships out the ass. He straight, you know what I mean? He graduated high school. When the last time you heard a good feels good story like that? You know what I'm saying? Where people going and rushing to go find that out. You know what I mean? for me, I think that's the biggest piece is just like, man, understanding that like, man, honestly, that there is good and evil, but there a lot of that also is based in judgment. And it's just like, for me, it's like I just try to stay like as neutral as I can with shit, you know what I'm saying? And just understanding that like, man, what's evil is evil, what ain't, you know what I'm saying? And like not trying to like analyze this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, it don't need no analyzing. Like, bro, if it don't take no rocket science just to figure this shit out. Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, we know what right from wrong is, bro. And I think just I don't know, man, just choosing my choices, choosing what I want to consume, choosing what I choose to like consume is like the biggest thing for me. So like with me getting off of socials, it was one of them things of seeing the trauma, but also seeing like people lying. I know you lying. Like it's like, and it's one of them things of like getting consumed with that whole thing of like, man, I don't want to be a person who lacks integrity with this shit. So I don't want to just be on here posting wins all day. If I don't feel comfortable posting my losses, maybe I shouldn't post nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't feel like I can get on here and not have to, you know, put this facade on to practice this, whatever. It's like, then, you know what I mean? Until I feel like that, it's like, I probably won't be on that motherfucker no more. Cause it's like that, you know, and it was crazy enough. It was a Mike Tyson quote, bro. Like he was talking about basically like when people allow situations to change them. And he said, you let the devil win because you whatever happened, and you allowed that to make you different. And for me, it's like, that stuck with me. Cause it's like, I feel like a lot of people allow the social media shit to change them, you know what I'm saying? To change their motives, to change the way that they move, to change the, you know what I'm saying, what they believe in, all of that shit. And for me, you know, I'm on this like fucking crazy search within to find, you know what I mean, like an internal piece that generates from internally, and to find what it is I like and what it is I want to do and what it is, you know what I'm saying, like really curating the lifestyle that I want for myself, as opposed to like living by some metric, you know what I'm saying? Because I had found myself not too long ago like saying like, you know, feeling like I ain't where I'm supposed to be. Well, where you supposed to be and who told you supposed to be there? You know what I'm saying? Like who the fuck said that by the time you turn this age you gotta have this and you gotta have that and whoop. And it's like that shit. When I started seeing that, it's not, I feel like I was falling into that trap, and it was just like, yeah, it's time to get off here and like really do some soul searching, you know what I'm saying? To where whenever I step back out, I know whatever I'm doing it because I want to do it. And I'm not influenced by, even with my next project, that's the biggest hurdle I'm going over is like not wanting to present an idea that's authentic to me, to where it's like, it's not some shit you've heard. It's not this cookie cutter concept where it's just like, oh, I'm trying to grind to get it and be successful and nobody believes in me, but it's okay because they one day will, and everybody, you know what I mean? That's what everybody seem like that. Bruh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Niggas told me I wouldn't be shit. Everybody want to go to that. And I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, my teacher, nigga, y'all didn't have that many.
Bro, it's like, hey, bro, it's like, what terrible grown people was out here telling y'all that for real? Or matter of fact,
you had one, Johnny. But.
A couple.
Bro, but it be that other flip side too, where it be like, bro, I know niggas who like, bro, I knew you when you was that, like, you know what I'm saying? I knew you in high school. You wasn't shit. Like, I'm being real. You was out here, you wasn't going to school, you selling drugs, you was out here running in people's houses and shit. What do you think they was supposed to tell you? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. But it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I just look at all that, man, and just realize that, bro, like, ultimately all of that is a choice. Like, me engaging with any of this social media shit and all that, it's a choice. And like, I'm fighting really hard to just find out how to maneuver and still maintain relevancy and shit like that without having to rely on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, niggas be, if another person tell me I got to get a TikTok, I'm like, no, no, I don't want to do it.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir.
So many people are driven by TikTok now.
Bro,
I don't get it.
it's fucking up to me, and it's fucking up art, bro. It's really fucking up. It's fucking up the way we consume art, because now art is content. Everything is content.
Well, I mean, when we talk about the power of words, even calling people just because they have money and can get you to buy something, calling them influencers. No context. with no context. That's just the power. So now you're saying I'm an influencer, or they're an influencer. You're already allowing them to influence you.
Facts.
You already believe that they can get you to believe in something.
Mm-hmm.
Just by you calling them that.
Facts.
Yeah, you just naked on here. It's all good.
You just naked
on here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was interesting when you was talking about just consumption. I always go to the Batman movie. I go to the character of the Joker. But on the flip side of that, I go to actual Heath Ledger. And what it does, because to tap into, like you said, you don't want to know why. I don't need to know why he did what he did, because you have to tap into a psyche to get to a place to say, if I was in this position, and sometimes that can lead you in a very dark
Subconscious don't know the difference, boss.
Yes,
You sitting
sir.
there telling it all this shit, and it's like, oh, it's time to kill some people. Okay, all right, for
Yeah,
sure.
so that's what happened to, rest in peace, Heath Ledger. You know what I'm saying? So that to consume, it can consume. You know what I'm saying? It can consume all of you. So that's what happened. But I'm a segue. We was talking about as above, so below. I was listening to Ro Marquez.
My God.
Beautiful project.
My God.
I talked about Tut. I talked about Tim Gent. I think the other guy I got is Savvy.
He's on him. Yeah. He tapped in for sure.
And I just want you to talk briefly about what's really bubbling on the scene in Nashville. I even seen I remember coming in here and talking about, yo, Nashville got some shit. And then J. Cole go backdoor my ass and say, yo, Nashville. I'm like, yo, stop giving me my shit. That's when you got to get on. Get my affirmations out when I know shit, so I can at least have timestamps on it. But what are you feeling from the city as far as Nashville? Because it's like a music capital, but not known for hip hop, because that's where BMI headquarters is. It's a country scene. But what's really happening on that scene that has and that has y'all kind of connected, and how are y'all building it together, which is something I think the country can kind of emulate as far as these smaller markets.
Yeah. So it's a renaissance right now. That's the best word to describe it. It is literally what's going on. It feels like a big ass pond with a bunch of big ass fish. Like it really do feel like that. I've never been able to name so many peers that I feel like has star potential, that has really like this potential to be like somebody well known. Like, I mean, you name, Gent, Savvy, you know what I'm saying, Tut, Ro Marquez, Brian Brown, you feel me? Ronald Bossy. Oh yeah, Brian Taylor, Namir Blade. Namir Blade signed with Mellow Music Group, you know what I'm saying? Amazing artist. Like if you go check him out, he's cold. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, bro, the list literally goes on. And I try not to even, when people ask me, I try not to get the name in people, because when you leave people off, they start feeling the way, because it's that many people who are really, really super extremely talented, man. And I think the thing in the city right now that I don't even think we recognize is that we're a lot more community oriented than we realize. I think the common complaint in Nashville a lot of times is, well, ain't don't nobody work together, but that's so not true, because everybody knows each other and everybody in a way supports each other. Like for you to tell me that you found out my music by Tim Gent reposting my shit, you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like, okay, that lets me know that, like, you feel me, like the homies is putting the homies on, you know what I'm saying? And so I think what Nashville has going on right now is absolutely beautiful. I think it's a renaissance. I do believe it's going to be that it's gonna be that more people nationally is the next step for it to be known on a national scale. I think people will start to respect it as its own hub. You know what I mean? Because the biggest thing with Nashville, I think, has been the whole identity piece. What's our sound? What's our sound? And we always are known and notorious for saying, "Oh, we don't have a sound. It's more of a vibe. It's a feel. It's an approach." But I think the more I start to do it, it's that there is like an eclectic element to our music, to where even if it is trap, hip hop or something, it's just like something about it is like there's a conscious element to it. You know what I'm saying? To where like we're really big in storytelling, and I think that stems from the country music pipeline of just like Nashville being a songwriter city. So like you got hip hop artists that sit in writing sessions with country artists and shit like that. And you know what I mean? So where like the pen is like the first thing. Like if you ain't got the pen in Nashville, it don't really matter. We don't care about how good you can sing, dance, none of that. If you cannot write, you can go. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, like we got literally local songs that, bro, people don't like outside of Davidson County would not know. But like if you turn that shit on in the club, people would lose their mind. You know what I'm saying? And so the scene is I think, I mean, I'm a native, bro. I've been there my whole life. It's just as good as it's ever been. And honestly, bro, like I feel like in a couple of years, you know, you'll start hearing more names being mentioned on a national scale, just really like on some shit like where it's like people gonna be like, damn, Nashville taking over the rap scene. Like I really feel like that, man, because we just got, I don't feel like we got no overnight, you know, successes where it's just like you hear a person who's like, oh, that's gonna be a hit. Nah, but we got people who, I mean, if you go look down the lines, like you don't see a lot of our artists dropping singles. A lot of people drop whole albums and projects, you know what I'm saying, before ever signing anything. And it's like the quality of the albums that we dropping are like, I mean, to me, next to none. I mean, like you brought up Roe, his album won Nashville Scene album of the year. That's almost unheard of. Like, and then the year before that, Brian Brown won Nashville.
Journey?
Yeah, with Journey, exactly. And so it's just like you look at that, bro, and
This year, Ronald Bossy win.
oh yeah, my boy Ron coming crazy, bro. It's that nigga's album is fucking phenomenal, bro. Oh my god, but yeah, he going crazy, but. Yeah, just even looking at that though, like man, it's just so many names, bro. Like even the, you know what I'm saying, my homies in Third Eye, my nigga Jordan X got a amazing project he's sitting on. I cannot wait for him to drop. My nigga Demo's an amazing artist. Qualls just dropped an amazing project. He's from Chattanooga, but he just moved to Nashville. He lives in Nashville, and I mean, bro, it's just so many artists, man. Like I said, I try not. Oh, Jody Joe, you know what I'm saying? He's like fucking incredible, man. Dude's. Yeah, Jemiah and Lauren, they tour. I can't think of the name of the it's a country gospel group, but they tour with them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, AB just did they just opened for Coldplay. Yeah, out in the Bay like 2 weeks ago with artists out in LA named Bobby Guns. He's super cool dude. Yeah, in Case, my boy Case Arnold, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, man, I can keep naming names, bro. We'll be all night naming names, but it's a renaissance in Nashville right now. I definitely see the scene just continuing to bubble over and just grow to unimaginable heights. And I just hope that, you know, the people that's there just have the patience and the fortitude to just stick it out and just wait for the you know what I mean, for the harvest. Cause I think I hear a lot of people be wanting to move and shit like that, and I feel like soon as niggas move, that's when the shit gone. Cause I mean everything is being moved. I mean we just got a Soho house, bro. Like you know what I mean. We they're building another. I forget which label they're building down there right now. Sony I think is building an office, a hip hop division. No, Rock Nation. Literally right next door to one of the studios we go to. So it's just a lot of dope shit going on, man. A lot of shit where the city's just growing and becoming a hub of not only just like music, but just art. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's becoming like, it's one of the, if I'm not mistaken, it's literally the number one like city in terms of in the nation where people are moving to. We get over like 1 million new or 100,000 new residents a day. Some crazy shit like that.
100 people a day.
Yeah, 100, yeah. Yeah.
On average.
On average. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy, like the way the city's growing, just all the shit that they doing.
They need to expand the highways downtown.
Facts, yeah. We don't got the infrastructure for like what they doing right now, but yeah, man, it's a renaissance, bro. And I'm just honest. I'm honored to be a part of it, and to even just be you know a name that's mentioned regularly in it.
So.
Man, yeah, I think last question I got, man, because you was mentioning your love for reading and y'all love for reading. What's 3 or 5 books, man, that kind of shifted or changed your life, man? What's 3 or 5 books, man, people need to read?
Autobiography of Malcolm X was the first one I read. That's the one that taught me that reading was important, because seeing how he just educated himself and like really literally like brought himself out of a situation through education first. You know what I'm saying? That one. 4 Agreements. That's imperative for anybody to read. They Came Before Columbus. Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm still not getting this off of you.
I ain't gonna. Only reason I ain't putting Alchemist in there for me right now is because, well, Alchemist is one. That's 5, but I'm gonna throw a 6th in there because I'm, you know, what I mean, I'm speaking to my black people who really trying to, you know, what I'm saying, get enlightened. The 6th one though that I would name would probably be Behold a Pale Horse, William Cooper. For sure. I read that book.
Supposed to say that on there.
Ah, bruh. So no cap. Reading that book, when I finished that book, that's what made me write Burn It Down. And then literally, like, for that shit to happen, like, I felt like I was fucking, I don't know, like, I was like, bruh, you know what I mean, bruh? Like, cause he talks about all that shit in the book, and then for me to just be like, oh, like, I wrote that song. Like May of 2020. So this is before vaccines and all that shit came out, and before they was talking about all the UFOs and all this shit, and then it's just like, and it's like, bro, dude really was talking about that shit in that book, and like, it just showed. That was another example of just showing me, like, bro, how they really do hide things in books, and how a lot of this shit, by studying the past, you can really know what the fuck finna go on, because all this shit really, you know what I mean.
I vividly remember Alchemist because I remember when I was going through the transition period, figuring out like how to be an artist. You told me how much that really like changed. It teed your mindset up.
No,
like,
facts.
I really can do this. That's why I always go back to that. If I'm ever at Pivotal Forum, I'm like,
I read that going to what's the name? My first time was the first time going to LA, and it was a similar situation to this, bro. Where it was like my homie Misa reached out. He's, you know, Casey Veggies is, right?
Yeah.
He used to be his manager. He reached out to me. Didn't know dude, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, yeah, we want you to come do this show in LA, and I'm like, what? Like, how you hear about me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I went out there and I was reading that book, bro. I was doubting myself like crazy, having like stupid, just like, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. And I still deal with that shit to this day, bro. Like, I've been going through a crazy writer's block, so that's why I'm hoping this weekend I can get out that writer's block and get into a stew with some people, man. You know what I mean? And get in the bag. But yeah, man, it been it's just been wild dealing with that shit, but yeah. For sure.
So, man, I don't want to hold you. Anything? I know you working on the project.
Mm-hmm.
You said,
Yeah, I am. I am.
Anything you can say about it, or we gonna?
I ain't one of them secret people. I ain't gonna. It's name of the project is Until I Get There. And it's just like it's just about a journey called life. You know what I'm saying? I would say it's conceptual. So this is my like most conceptual album in terms of like, it'd be most comparable to like iNDigo Cafe in terms of conceptually speaking. And I ain't nowhere near done with it. I don't know when it's gonna be released or anything like that. I do know it's like an R&B album, so it ain't gonna be a lot of rap. And yeah, it's just really me trying to find. It's kind of it's kind of like similar to the whole Alchemist theme of, you know, the journey is the reward type shit, and just understanding that, like, you know, through this life, you got people who get on the bus and then get off the bus a little early, but at the end of the day, the destination, the end point is the same for us all. And so it's just kind of me questioning what it means to live, like what's living really, like, you know what I'm saying? And also too, like, just what it means to like embark on a journey and like and grow. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, blessings on blessings,
man,
blessings on blessings, and y'all in for a treat.
Yeah, man.
I know he got a sprinkle. I know it's gonna be a party, but nah, we gotta talk that shit. We gotta show the people.
Nah, facts.
We always talk that shit, and it's just. And I love being around folks who believe in the principles that we believe in, about especially like what we feed ourselves, you know, what we choose to digest, that comes in all forms of consumption. So we're gonna be in for a treat, man. I can't wait for the show. This might not make it before the show, but you missed out, motherfucker. Don't be that guy or gal. Don't be that one. But yeah, man, we gonna be in the building at the Slow Down. It's already been a blessing, you know. Here we could have just had you come and just speak, just paid your speaker fee and fly your ass out. But we gonna make you sweat and.
Oh no, I'm going crazy. I'm leaving Earth tomorrow. I'm dead ass gonna leave Earth tomorrow. I hope people fucking with it. I hope people show up too, because if they don't, they gonna miss out.
Yes, sir, man. They gonna be in the building, man. So, man, it's been a It's been a doozy tonight.
Man,
We got some more to get to.
that part.
You got anything?
No, that's it, man. We
Man.
gotta always leave on the high note, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thankful for Chuck for coming through, blessing the microphone, blessing us. Oh man, look, messing up everything. But just thank you, man. And thank you as an artist, you know, who put themselves out there. You know, that's why I asked you the question I did, like, how are you protecting yourself? Because I could see that battle and that struggle on you.
Yeah.
And just listening to your art, man, you got amazing things to offer, bro. Like you said, everybody ain't cut from the same kente, bro.
Yeah.
So it's just, I just look forward to you continuing to bless us with your artwork,
Appreciate
bro.
that. Much love.
Yes, sir.
I love when they pull up like quotes that I said. It's just like, damn, that shit made me feel like
Man, when
I
he
said that.
Yeah, when he said that on that Lordy, I was like, hold up. I said, hey, everybody got their glory story. I almost came back out of retirement when I was hearing that song. I said, hold up, I might have to come out of retirement.
We just been jump starting Johnny ass. Oh, I quit, nigga. I'm doing spoken word. I write poetry. Look at that.
Hey, listen, man, listen. Hey, that's why I love this conversation, because it's a beautiful journey,
Yes,
man. It's a beautiful journey, man. So
Y'all better not make no jokes about Johnny. That's my job.
Hey,
He gonna never mind. I almost said something. He gonna turn back into
Lil Killer.
nigga. Yeah, it's funny,
Man, we good, man.
Yes,
we good.
sir,
But
man.
man, just thank you for being out here. Thank you, Moves, for coming through, man. And just, man, thank y'all for being here, man. Shout out to E, man.
Man, appreciate y'all coming out. My team in the background, Montreal, man.
Yes, sir.
Ray the King, the young guy. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
young guy right there, man. They ready, man.
Yes, sir.
They ready. Round 2 for Montreal at the slow down. I can't wait to see this nigga, man. Oh, man. But man, we gonna get out here on the high note, man. We appreciate you coming through, man.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. For sure.
And we out here. This is getEJIKEwithit, man.
It's your other host, Johnny No Good.
We out.
Chuck Indigo, man. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.
The beats, the flow, the rhythm. All movement starts from the streets.